Good morning, children. See, today we are going to discuss case study questions from linear equations. Okay, from board, they have sent us one set of case study questions. Earlier, I have posted in the class group. How many of you have taken the printout? How many of you noticed it? I don't know. Anyhow, today, after this class, once again, I'll send the case study questions given by CBSE. Okay, that case study questions includes both the first term and second term. Okay, it is given in the beginning of the year. So that includes both first term and second term portions. Okay, so now we are going to do the case study questions from linear equations. Okay, before we start with that, let's revise the concepts what you have learned in linear equation. What is the general form we have learned about linear equations? What is the general form of a linear equation? I'm asking a linear equation. Then, what is the general form? Yes. What's the general form of a linear equation? Yes, try it, children. If it goes wrong, no problem. You start.
Ax plus b
by plus c
Plus c
is equal to 0.
equal to 0. That is important. Linear equation. Okay. So ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 with what is the condition? A, B, C are real numbers and
And
A.
a is
not
not
equal to
Is
0.
it A? Is it only A? A and B together not equal to 0. A and B together not equal to 0. Okay. What's the condition we use here? Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 where A, B, C are real numbers and A and B together not equal to 0. Okay, instead of saying together not equal to 0, we use another term called a square plus b square is not equal to 0. Either we can say a and b together not equal to 0. Instead of that, okay, in our books we have this notation a square plus b square not equal to 0. When you square it, this quantity is also positive, b square also positive. So when will be this quantity 0? When a is 0 and b is 0, isn't it? When both the terms will become 0. And this is the form we have learned for linear equation. What about graph of a linear equation?
straight line.
Very good. It is a straight line. Okay, graph of a linear equation is straight line. How many solutions are there for a linear equation?
1,
No.
2,
2. Is it 2? Listen, how many solutions are there for a linear equation? You take, okay, imagine one equation. That moment itself you can consider one equation. X plus y is equal to 5. How many solutions?
3,
3, we take it for drawing graph. Is that no? How many solutions? We can find so many. Is that no? When x is 1, y is 4. When x is 2, 3, 0, 5, 0, 5. Like that, can you find? So how many solutions? When you draw the graph, infinite solutions are there. When you draw the graph, when x is 0, y is 5. So every point on the solution, every point on the line is a graph. Okay. Every point on the line is a solution. How many points are there in that line? Infinite points are there. Is it clear? So how many solutions are there for a linear equation? For a linear equation. Okay. When you read the question, read it carefully. So a linear equation has infinite solution. It has infinite solution. Every point on the line is a solution. Every point on the line is a solution. Is it clear? When you draw the graph, we'll be getting a line, straight line. Every point on the straight line is a solution. Suppose I'm taking a point outside the line. Will it be a solution? Vishnupriya, will it be a solution? No. If it is a solution, surely it will be lying on the line. Okay. What about the graph of the line x is equal to 0? Graph of the line x is equal to 0.
y-axis.
It is the y-axis. X is equal to 0 means it is the y-axis. Okay, y is equal to 0 means it is the x-axis. Okay, if I draw the line x is equal to 5, what can you say about the graph of the line x is equal to 5? What about the line x is equal to 5? Okay, suppose this is the axis, x-axis and y-axis. X is equal to 5. How will you draw this? X value is constant. So, x is equal to 5 means, okay. So, y-axis means x is 0. So, it will be x is equal to 5. It is a line parallel to y-axis. X is equal to 5 means we will be getting a line which is parallel to y-axis. Is it correct? X value is always 5. X value is 5. So if you take this point 5, 0, here you will get 5, 1, 5, 2. And here likewise if you take it here 5, -1, 5, -2. So x is equal to 5 means you will be getting a line parallel to y-axis. Suppose we mark y is equal to -2. What you will get? Y is equal to -2.
Parallel to x-axis, y-axis.
Parallel to y is -2 means
X-axis parallel to
parallel to, and it is, okay, it will go below the origin, below the axis because y value is negative. Y is -2. It lies below the x-axis. Y is -2. What about the line ax plus by is equal to 0? What can you say about, okay, these are all important points, children, note it down. What about the graph of ax plus by is equal to 0? Yes. What is the answer? We have discussed all these things while we learn. Yes?
coinciding.
No.
Straight line.
It is a straight line. Linear equation means it is a straight line, isn't it? But what is the speciality there? Which term is missing?
C.
Constant term is missing means that graph will
Solution.
pass through the, yes, Adila, yes. Passes through the
Origin.
origin. Okay, note down that whenever constant term is not there, constant term C is 0 means the graph will pass through origin. No need to draw the graph and all. Whenever the constant term is 0, we can say that graph passes through the origin. Okay, constant term is 0 here. If it is in this form, either the graph will be in this form or this form. Okay, it passes through the origin. The line passes through the origin whenever constant term is not there. So this is about one linear equation. Okay, this is what we have learned about one single. Suppose you are given a linear equation in two variables. What about the general form of pair of linear equations? Pair of linear equations. General form of pair of linear equations. Pair means we need two equations. Yes, Rosabi.
So ax1 plus y2 plus c is equal to 0
Huh.
and ax2 plus by2 plus c2 is equal to
Yes.
0.
Okay. With A1, B1, C1. Okay, so general form is, okay, general form of pair of linear equation is correct. Okay, it is A1x plus B1y plus C1 is equal to 0. A2x plus B2y plus C2 is equal to 0, where A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2 are real numbers. And what is the condition? A1 square plus B1 square is not equal to 0. And A2 square plus B2 square is not equal to 0. And what about the graph we will get? We'll be getting a pair of straight lines. Graph is a pair of straight lines. Graph is a pair of straight lines. Is it correct, Aditya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, general form is A1x plus B1y plus C1 is 0 and A2x plus B2y plus C2 is 0. Where A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2 are real numbers, and with A1 square plus B1 square is not equal to 0 and A2 square plus B2 square is not equal to 0. And the graph is a pair of straight lines. We'll be getting a pair of straight lines. Then we have learned about the conditions for consistency. Yes or no? Okay, take your textbook, mark all these points. Okay, what you have learned, everything, just go mark it. Then what is meant by consistency? When will you say pair of equations are consistent?
Unique solution.
When they have solution.
It has solution. Okay, it is not unique and all. Consistent means it has solution. Okay. Inconsistent means no solution. Consistent means it is solution. Solution is there. We don't know about the number. It may be one or many. Okay. Solution, if at least one solution is there. Solution exists means we say it is consistent. We don't bother about the number. If infinite solution is there means it is okay. Okay. So if solution exists, we say it is consistent. No solution means it is inconsistent. Okay. So if solution is consistent and if it is unique solution means, okay, if the solution is unique, we say the solutions are independent. What is the term we use here? Independent, different. But if it is infinite solution means we call the solutions to be dependent. The equations are dependent. Okay, it depends. From one equation itself, we will be able to write the next equation. And then we have learned these conditions. Is that no? We have learned about the conditions. Condition, then graph. What about the graph? Consistency. Number of solution. Okay. So, suppose the lines are parallel. What is the condition? If the lines are parallel, what is the condition with respect to the coefficients? Yes. When will you say the given lines? Yes.
A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2.
A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2? Not equal to C1 by C2, isn't it? Parallel. So in that case, no solution. Okay, no solution at all. If there is no solution, it is said to be inconsistent. It is said to be inconsistent. Next is unique solution. Unique solution means
A1 by
graph of the lines will be intersecting. Okay, it will be intersecting. The graphs are intersecting. So here the solution is one solution, or we can say this as unique solution. Unique solution. If solution is there means the given system of equations are said to be consistent. Given system of equations are said to be consistent. And what about the condition? Prajot? Condition for
Yes,
unique
ma'am.
solution.
A1 by A2 not equal to B1 by B2.
Yes, A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. Then, next is coinciding lines, isn't it? Next one is the coinciding lines. Graph will be coinciding lines. Over the same line, you'll get another line. So in that case, how many solutions are there? Get,
Infinite.
yes, infinite solutions. So in this case also, when solution is there means we say it is consistent. And what is the condition here? Meghna? Yeah, yes, proceed. A1 by A2
Is equal to B1 by B2.
Hmm.
C1 by C2 is equal.
is equal to C1 by C2. This is the condition we have learned. Okay, then regarding the solutions, okay, solving, okay, solutions, we can find the solution by using two methods. Algebraic method is there, graphical method is there. By drawing the graph, we can find out, or by using solving. Solving method, we call it as algebraic method. In algebraic method, we have learned, what are the methods we have learned? Algebraic method. First one is substitution method, elimination method. Substitution method and elimination method. Cross multiplication method is not there for you. Okay, it is deleted. Cross multiplication, only that method is deleted. Question, the same question will be asked in another method. Okay, you can solve it by using elimination or substitution. Only that method is deleted. Okay, questions from that exercise will be asked because you can solve it by using another method. So algebraic method, elimination method is there, substitution method is there, and graphical method is also there. And the last one we have learned in this topic is equations reducible to linear equations. Okay, equations reducible. The given equations as such will not be in linear equations, but we can make it into linear equations. For example, 1 by x minus 2 plus 1 by y minus 2 is equal to 3. 2 by x minus 2 plus, okay, it's just an example I am writing here. It is 4. Okay, the given equation as such is not linear. Then what you can do? We can make some substitution. What is the substitution you will do here? Yes, what is the substitution? We can try here to make it as linear. To make it as linear. Yes, put
1 by x minus 2 as A and 1 by y minus 2 as B.
Yes, either as, okay, either as A and B or U or V. You can put 1 by x minus 2 as U, 1 by y minus 2 as B. Okay, you can put as A or B. So if you substitute it, you will get A plus B is equal to 3. 2A plus 4B is equal to 4. So we'll be getting the given equation. We can transform it into linear equations by substituting. So only this much concept is there in linear equations. Okay. Now we can go learn the case study questions. After that, we can start doing the problems. Are you able to recall till? Yes. Up to this, are you able to recall what you have learned? This is what we learned in linear equations. Okay. Now let's go through the case study questions. Okay. This is what given by the CBSE. In real numbers, you have 2 or 3 questions. Go through each and every question. Okay. You can solve it and you can learn. Polynomials questions and all we discussed that day. Okay, children, listen to this case study question. Okay. Hadi Amin, read the question. Hadi Amin.
Case study.
Yes.
This consists of true or false question. 1 mark is awarded for every correct answer, while 1/4 mark is deducted for every wrong answer. The student knew answers to some of the questions. Rest of the questions he attempted by guessing. He answered 120 questions and got 90 marks.
So look at here. It is given in the table form. Okay. It's a true or false question. If it is correct, you'll be getting 1 mark. Okay. And for wrong answer, 0.25 marks were deducted. Okay. For wrong answer, marks deducted will be 0.25. So now look at this. Can you frame the equations from here? How many questions? We don't know. He answered 120 questions and got 90 marks. How will you frame the equation here? Okay, this similar question we have discussed. Yes, try it, children. What is the first equation and what is the second equation? So we need 2 variables, x and y, isn't it? So what is x? What we can take as x? Yes, tell me. What is x and what is y? X we can take it as number of correct answers, isn't it? And y we can take it as number of wrong answers. So what is the first equation you will get? What is the first equation? Total how many questions he has answered?
X plus y is equal to 120.
Yes, very good. X plus y is 120 is the first equation because there are 120 questions in all. Okay, suppose we don't know the number of correct questions he answered. Okay, number of correct answers we are taking it as x, number of wrong answers we take it as y. Total, he has answered 120 questions. So x plus y is 120. And look at the marks. She got 90 marks. She got 90 marks. So what is the second equation? For each correct question, 1 marks will be given, and for each wrong answer, half a mark will be reduced. Is it half? No, not half, children. 1/4. That is 0.25 is reduced. So it will be the second equation. Badra, can you give the second equation?
X minus y is equal to 90.
Is it x minus y? For wrong answer, we deduct 0.25. That is 1/4, isn't it? So x minus y, but here some
X minus 0.25 into y is equal to 90.
Yes, 0.25. Okay. After decimal, we'll not read it as together. We'll be splitting and read that. So x minus 0.25 is equal to 90. So we'll get two equations. You have to solve these two equations. Okay. Now look at the question given here. What is asked in the question? Look at this questions. If answer to all questions he attempted by guessing were wrong, then how many questions did he answer correctly? How many questions did he answer correctly? That means what you have to find? That means you have to
Correct answers.
number of correct answers, x, isn't it? Number of correct answers is x. How many questions did he guess?
Why?
So, why? Okay, because all the guess answers went wrong. All the guessing answers went wrong. That is same as number of wrong answers, y. Okay. So now look at the second part. If answer to all questions he attempted by guessing were wrong and answered 80 correctly. So after solving the first two only, you will be able to do the next part. If he got 80 marks correctly, again you have to frame the equation and then you have to solve. How many marks did he got? If answer to all questions he attempted by guessing were wrong, then how many questions answered correctly to score 95 marks? Okay. So in each case, you have to solve it separately. Okay. Look at the solution here. Look at the solution. What you have discussed, same thing only it is given here. Number of questions. Okay. Answers known to him, we are taking it as x. And the number of attempted, we take it as y. So it is given x plus y is 120. X minus 1 by 4 y is equal to 90. When you solve it, you'll get the equations x and y. Now look at the first part. How many questions were he answered correctly? So it is same as x, isn't it? How many questions he has attempted by guessing? It is same as the wrong answers. It is 24. Now what is the next part asked here? Look at the third one. If answer to all questions he attempted by guessing were wrong and he answered 80 correctly. 80 questions he answered correctly. So total 120 questions are there. 80 questions he answered correctly. So how many questions went wrong?
40.
40. So in this case, what is the mark? For each 80 questions, he will get 1 mark, 80 into 1. And for wrong answer, we have to reduce 0.25, 40 into 0.25. So you'll get the marks. Is it correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll get what is the marks he scored. Now look at the next part. If answer to all questions he attempted by guessing were wrong. Okay. How many questions answered correctly? How many questions did he answer correctly to score 95 marks? He scored 95 marks. We want to check how many questions he answered correctly. So we want to check how many questions he answered correctly. So we don't know the number of questions he answered correctly. So what you can do? We can take the number of answers he corrected as x. Okay, so how many questions went wrong? Total 120 questions, isn't it? Suppose he answered x questions correctly. And 120, okay, how many questions went wrong? 120 minus x. And what is the marking? For each correct answer, he will get 1 mark. And for each wrong answer, 120 minus x, he will lose 1 by 4. So minus 1 by 4 will be equivalent to, what is the total mark here? It is 95. Again, take the LCM, simplify, and you have to find what is x. Okay, children, give more importance to such questions. Okay, today itself, I'll send this case. Okay, how many of you have this with you? How many of you are having? See, in Fia, is it Fia? Who asked that out? Is it Rifa? Yes, Rifa. Listen. Okay, in the fourth question, marks are given there. Total marks scored is 95. Total marks scored is 95. We are asked to find how many questions he answered correctly. Okay, so we don't know how many questions he answered correctly. You take it as X. But total number of questions is 120. So how many went wrong? 120 minus X, isn't it? So based on this, how will you calculate the mark? For each correct answer, 1 mark, 1 into X. And for each wrong answer, we have to reduce. So that is why we put minus. We have to deduct 0.25. 0.25 into 120 minus X is 95. Now open the bracket. X minus 0.25 into 120. That is same as 1 by 4 into 120x. Minus of minus, it will become plus 1 by 4 into x. Sorry, here is no x here. 0.25. Okay, no x here. Yeah, no x is here. Okay. Minus 1 by 4. Minus of minus, when you open the bracket, you'll get this is equivalent to 95. Now take the LCM, simplify, and you can solve and find the value of x. When you solve it, you'll get x is 100. So he answered 100 questions correctly. So 20 questions only went wrong. Okay. Is it okay, Rifa?
Yes, ma'am.
Now look at the next one. Next question. Amit is planning to buy a house and the layout is given below. The design and measurement has been made such that area of 2 bedrooms and kitchen together is 95 square meter. Area of the rooms and kitchen, bedrooms and kitchen together is 95 square meter. Okay, and the figure is given like this. Based on the above information, answer the following questions. Can you frame the equations? Form the pair of linear equations in 2 variables for the situations. Can you form the equation?
2x plus y is equal to 15.
2x.
Can you show the question one more time?
Okay, read it. Read this one.
Area of bedroom is equal to x.
Is it like that? Look at here. In the figure, it is given x. What is x? What is x? Is it same as the length of the bedroom? Is or no? And here it is, okay. What is y? It is for the kitchen, it is given. So no need to take area as x. Okay, here it is given. The length of the bedroom, you can take it as x. Length of the kitchen, you can take it as y. What about the breadth of the bedroom and kitchen? It is here, it is given. It is 5 meters. And here also it is given. Okay, these are same length. This is 5. Okay, here up to this part it is x. Then we have 2 meters. Again here y meters. But what is the total length given here? It is 15, isn't it? So can you give the first equation? What is the first equation you can write here? We want to frame pair of equations. But what is the first equation?
Ma'am, area of all 3 together.
Area of all 3 together will be?
But in that question, 95.
Yes. Okay. Area of the bedroom Area of the 2 bedrooms and kitchen, if you take it, it is 95. So what is the area? What is the equation you will get? What is the area of the first bedroom?
5x.
5x. It is a rectangle, 5x. Plus, what is the area of the second bedroom?
5y.
5x itself, isn't it? Because the same size. And what about the kitchen?
5y.
5y is equal to total area, 95. Area of the first bedroom plus second bedroom plus kitchen is 95. So 5x plus 5y plus 5x is 95. So if you add this, you'll get 10x plus 5y is equal to 95. We can cancel throughout by 5. Is that no?
Yes, ma'am.
So we get 2x plus y is equal to, when you divide it by 5, is it 19? 2x plus y is equal to 19. And look at the second part. And what is the second equation? One equation only we got here from this part. What is the second equation? Yes, Emil. What about the second equation? Compare this length, children. What is this
X
total
plus-
length? X plus
y plus 2 is
Ah.
15.
is 15. Yes. So we get x plus y is equal to 13. Okay, this is the total length. The same length only here we have. So when you add up this total length, it will be equivalent to 15. So x plus y plus 2 is 15. So x plus y is 13 is the second equation. Okay. So based on the above information, answer the following. What is the first part here? Form the pair of linear equations. Okay, so what is the equation here? 10x plus 10y, 5y is 95. So we got the total equation. Okay, we get 2 equations. Now look at the second part. Find the length of the outer boundary of the layout. Find the length of the outer boundary of the layout. That means we want to find the perimeter. Can you guess the perimeter? What is the perimeter? Okay, outer boundary of the layout means what is this total length? This total perimeter you have to find out. What will be the perimeter here? Is it a rectangle?
Into 15 plus 12.
2 into 15 plus 12.
12.
Length is 15, breadth is 2. Okay, 2 into L plus B. Length is 15 and breadth is 12. Now look at the next part, third one. Find the area of each bedroom and kitchen. You do this once you solve it and then you find x and y. After finding x and y, you can find out what is the area of the bedroom and what is the area of the kitchen. Next one is find the area of the living room. Area of the living room. How will you find the area of the living room? It is in green color.
And
Okay.
total area
Right.
minus
Yes, area of this living room is total area.
minus the area of 2-bedroom kitchen.
Including this bathroom also you should subtract it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, or what you can do, you can take this rectangle, the second part of the rectangle. From there you remove area of 1 bedroom. Okay, if you take this part, from this part, the length is 15, breadth is 7. So from this rectangle, you remove this, only this bedroom. Okay, you can do it in both the ways. Okay, then what is the next one? Find the cost of laying tiles in the kitchen at the rate of rupees 50 per square meter. So we want to find cost of laying tiles in the kitchen. So first you have to find the area, isn't it? You have to find the area of the kitchen, then multiplied by rupees 50. Okay.
My area is 30.
Area is area of the living room is 75. In the area of the kitchen, it will be 35. Okay, check it. Once go through it and check it. Is it clear? Check this one. Solve it if you want. You can solve it. Solve these two equations. Find, okay, solve the equations. Find x and y. After finding x and y, you find area of the bedroom, area of the kitchen, area of the living room. Start doing. Answer or attendance. Question is there. Okay, I'll send the PDF today itself. Okay, start solving these questions and practice it. Okay, children. With this, we wind up today's session. Thank you.